Technology continues to enhance the theater experience, and digital technology has the potential to make theater even more accessible, interactive, and engaging. An innovative augmented reality app, Oslo Specs, allows the user to engage with a life-size animation of Norway's famous playwright Henrik Ibsen. According to the Norwegian Ibsen Company, augmented reality places a layer of additional digital content on top of an image, preferably directly from a camera. So with this technology and a little suspended imagination, users can now see and even interact with Ibsen in his own environment. In this sense, it allows the audience to join in a performance with the playwright himself. Download the app onto your smartphone and follow the interactive map to 6 locations around the city where Ibsen lived and worked. You can even take photos with the virtual Ibsen at these locations. There are several stories about him, his plays, and his life in Oslo. This engages the user not only to explore the cityscape, but to interact with the idea of the playwright and the concepts contained in his plays. A direct form of audience participation that not only involves physical movement, watching, listening, reading, thinking, and responding, but also posing and performing with him on screen. The convenience of the digital experience with this app allows the user to engage with the concept of Ibsen and his material on their own terms, when, how, and how much they wish to engage. The Oslo Spec Ibsen experience can be extremely personal or it can be shared with friends. So with this app, digital technology has made the theater experience not only physically and intellectually accessible, but also personally interactive, engaging, expansive, and enriching.
Since 2007, Netflix has been a streaming service that has gathered together series and movies on one platform so it's more easily accessible. Since then, more and more streaming services have been created. With such a collective platform, people don't have to wait a week for the next episode and they can just play next and next and next. Many memes have been made about Netflix asking, "Are you still watching?" It's become a phenomenon, binge watching. And it's exactly this sensation that theater uses to get people back to the theater. To introduce the specific Ibsen play that uses this concept, I'll give a short introduction. In 2013, Dutch theater collective Moedemans en Zonen adapted 4 different Ibsen plays in the course of 5 years. They called this project Crash Test Ibsen. A crash test is a form of destructive testing to ensure the safety of people in a car in case of a crash. The test exists out of deliberately crashing a car into the wall to see what the consequences would be. With their Crash Test Ibsen, the collective, together with playwright Joachim Robrecht, do exactly this. They throw the plays of this, as they call him, Norwegian moral knight, against the wall to extract his best ideas from the rubble. They state that the political charges of his time have been partly answered in the time that divides us from him. But there are new questions that need new answers, and that's what they give in their 4 plays. Now, in 2023, 3 of these 4 plays are back in one night. They call each play an episode, offer Norwegian snacks in the break between these episodes, and in their promotion they ask the people to come and join and crash test and chill, as a reference to Netflix and chill. It's not the first theater company that does this. In 2016, Het Nationale Theater produced a 5-hour-long performance, The Nation, and they called it a theater binge evening. It was a theater thriller consisting out of 5 episodes, including a theme song that was played each episode, an outro, and a 5-minute break in between the episodes. It is interesting to see how theater, once again, uses contemporary developments and makes it their own. I will see this Crash Test Ibsen binge evening next week in the Netherlands, and I can't wait to see if I will want to press next and next and next.
During the pandemic, court cases, work meetings, parties, lectures, fitness classes, and theater started to exist almost exclusively over the internet. In an effort to adapt to an unprecedented era, we used technology to continue our daily lives. Ghost Theater, a small experimental theater company in Phoenix, Arizona, my friends, produced an adaptation of Enemy of the People over Zoom and Facebook livestream in the summer of 2020. It was free to watch and based on donations. The actors used cell phones to record themselves and had handheld tripods and battery packs. They used Bluetooth earpieces to hear each other and have better sound quality. Each person home was the set. They moved around their spaces and used props, lighting, and movement to make their production as theater-like as possible. The actors described the process of Zoom theater as isolating, challenging, and a new frontier. Some actors were so frustrated by the challenges that they said they wouldn't do online theater ever again. I spoke with Matthew Watkins, the company director, and he said the biggest technical challenge was being able to communicate with each other backstage, since on Zoom you could only have one conversation at a time. To quote Matthew, figuring out how to facilitate communication between stage management, actors, the tech team, and himself while the show was running took an enormous amount of their time. Matthew hadn't read the script before the pandemic, but chose to produce it because it was about a community that was forced into a situation where taking action to protect public health would undermine the economic basis that made their lives possible. It was the same issue that we were facing during the pandemic. He said Zoom theater was like a lifeline when we needed it. And although there's no reason to do full productions over Zoom anymore, there are a lot of things about virtual theater he thinks we should keep, like staged readings with actors from all over and live streaming productions. He said that he was able to see so many productions virtually during the pandemic that it made him confident in the work he was doing. I agree with Matthew that Zoom theater probably doesn't need to happen anymore in the way it did in 2020, but bringing elements of virtual theater into our theater practice in 2023 gives people more access to theater and allows more collaboration from around the world. Here you have seen 3 different ways that digital technology has influenced, impacted, and shaped theater in relation to Ibsen. Whether it be through apps, concepts, or mediums, digital technology has taken a hold of how we consume and enjoy theater. And Ibsen. Any questions?